Well, good morning, everybody. Well, for those of you that are in the morning, I guess. Today's a day that I've been kind of looking forward to for a little bit as someone that uses, and it's still rumor as of now. It's as close as we can possibly imagine to it not being a rumor. But as you can see, here, we are waiting on Sony. This is on their actual YouTube channel right now. So that's the Sony camera channel. We are waiting on them, which should be in about 10 minutes or so. We are waiting on them to actually reveal, announce, show what we've all been anticipating is the ZV-E1. Now, I've been watching their chat on the actual Sony channel. It's really, it's really a mixed bag, right? Everybody's up. Well, half the people are like super excited about it. Half the people are like, and I think the biggest one, because a lot of people are putting this as a Sony Alpha. I think it was an A7 III, something like that. Kind of in a ZV-E10 body, because sensor-wise and things like that. Full frame, of course, is what it's supposed to be, with a couple new bells and whistles. There's supposedly, what was some of the other ones? The big one that a lot of people were concerned with was because they talked about some new stabilization software that was possibly in this camera, that the camera itself would have no internal like IBIS. So it would rely on probably like the ZV-E10, as well as, kind of like the ZV-1, where, it uses gyro data that you could run through something like Catalyst Browse, or of course you could pay for Catalyst Prepare, and then you could kind of queue up a couple clips, because Catalyst Browse is not fast by any means, but it does really good stabilization. But it does for a vlogger, which is, as you can see, really what this camera is, the potential is, or what it's kind of the demographic that it's going after. I think the big concern here is, a lot of vloggers, and I don't mind doing it, but a lot of vloggers, it's about being fast, right? It's about being able to record something throughout the day, or a bunch of stuff throughout the day. It's about being able to sit down with your computer, input that footage, put it all together, and fire it out. Do you want to import that footage into Catalyst Browse, have to spend X amount of hours, depending on, of course, the power of your computer? I know for me, I have both an Intel i7 machine, which does it decently, still not fast. We have a Mac Studio, still not fast, right? Because it's not really optimized. Sony, of course, isn't going to optimize for like the Apple platform. But it'll be really curious. Now, the last thing that everybody's, and I'm concerned with this too, because again, if you look at even my streaming setup here, and I use the ZV-1 as my primary camera. So this camera that you're seeing right there is actually my ZV-1, and I'll make this bigger so you can kind of see. That's the quality of the ZV-1 right there. If you look at my ZV-1F, which is over here, so that's the ZV-1F. I actually really like the little ZV-1. It's definitely handcuffed, but in regards to features, having a fixed lens, 20 mil is good. Like to have seen it a little wider, even so. There are some fixes with that, with like a step-up ring and like a Ulanzi wide-angle lens, etc., etc. But still, like contrast detect. It doesn't have phase detect for autofocus, yada, yada, yada. But the bonus, of course, of the ZV line up till now, in my opinion, the ZV line, is 100% without question the price point. I don't know exactly what the price is in the US, but here, like ZV-E10, you're looking at about $800-900. The ZV-1, you're probably looking at that same kind of price, $700-800. The ZV-1F, I think you're looking in that $500-550, somewhere in that range, maybe $600. So if you're really starting out in vlogging, you could literally get all three of these cameras and have a really good multicam setup. I have the ZV-E10 in the other room, which is actually my top-down camera. For those of you that are new to our channel, we always put out a video in the mornings, and that video in the morning is like a tech review. So it's, of course, pre-recorded, etc., etc. So we actually shoot with a Canon R6 as our primary and a ZV-E10 is our top-down camera. Because for product viewing, it works beautifully. Now, every one of those cameras sub $1,000. Yes, yes. I'm going to switch over to the what you call it here, this page, so we can not miss anything just in case it decides to fire up here. But it's talking about this camera possibly being somewhere between $2,000 to $2,500. Like I said, you could buy all three of the current ZV cameras for less than this. Now, I know it's full frame. I know it's full frame. I know that it's going to have like the updated, supposedly, again, I don't know anything. It's supposed to have the updated menu system, which is, I believe, probably similar to the ZV-1F. It should have, I'm hoping, better color profiles, but it's pricey, right? And it really does put this camera up against some, for one, it puts this camera up against some pretty heavy competition from other brands if you're looking at, you know, $2,500. But it also puts this camera up against some pretty stiff competition inside the Sony lineup. And for me, a big one actually is, you know, something like the FX30. Yes, it's an APS-C sensor, but it's a cinema camera, right? It's designed as a cinema camera. So that one, I believe in US funds, is actually less. It's actually less than $2,000. So really, really curious. I like this here. Sony just turned on, just so you guys are aware, Sony just turned on subscriber only mode. So only channel subscribers of 1 minute or longer can send messages. So you can't just jump into the channel and start just saying garbage, right? And then leave. I actually didn't even know you could do that. You could set up a live or something like this and have it subscriber only. That's all right. That's okay. How are we for time right now? We are at 10:58. Almost 10:59. So I would think that this should be starting up pretty soon. You guys, it's literally 3,000 euros with kit lens. If true, way too expensive. I have to agree. So many other options out there. Now I say this there that who was it here? I'm probably gonna pronounce this wrong. Wake Warrior, he says if it's 3,000 euros, that's too expensive. And yes, I'm going to say that's, again, a lot of competition out there. Now, if it's that price, and they want to sell it, in my thoughts, they have got to have a couple features on this thing that are not on any other camera in that price point, that are just gonna walk over everything else. Something that says, "Oh my gosh, I need that." What happened here? There we go. Sorry, my computer went to sleep. You know, because if not, there's just so many other things out there. It says if it will cost more than, I was watching the Sony one too, right? It says, someone says if it costs more than $1,500, I'll go for an A7C. You know, and it's funny because everybody has this mindset. Everybody has this mindset of full frame, full frame, full frame. And hey, I love a good full frame. I have 3 full frame cameras myself. But I will say, and this is something that was kind of funny, we shot a wedding in January. And of course, I was shooting with my Canon cameras. I was shooting with an R6 and an R7, so a full frame and a crop camera. And my wife, who is with me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give you my Sony ZV-E10. We put a 53, 54 millimeter. It's a Viltrox lens, not an expensive lens. A Viltrox lens on there. It's like a 1.4. And I'm like, just go around, when you're bored, whatever, and take pictures. Take pictures of the tables. Take pictures of guests. Take pictures of people getting together. Because I'm not always around when it's just one of me. Some of the photos that she took, and we took it in a flat profile. I can't remember which one we took. Some of those pictures are fantastic. You would not think by any means that it was shot with a camera that's, $700-800 probably US, right? Plus, some of those photos are the actual ones that the bride and groom was like, yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Take that. And I was like, so, we get in this mindset, for one, that we need to have full frame. Sometimes maybe we just need a better lens. Two is that we get in this mindset, of course, that we need the best camera available out there. Now, if we're vlogging, stabilization and all this kind of stuff is super important. Wide angle lens is super important. I'm hoping that if it does come with a kit lens on this thing, it's a 16 mil. That would be fantastic. What's going on? It's 11:02. It says March 29th at 11 a.m. Premiere will begin shortly. Okay. Because that says 10 o'clock Eastern time, which is my time is 11, so we're a little late here. That's okay, but the little ZV-E10 puts out really good, and again with the FX30 by Sony, I would think it would do fantastic, right? In most scenarios. Now, probably not as a camera, more as a video recording device, of course. And like I said, I shot a lot of stuff with my R7, which is also an APS-C camera. Now, higher megapixels than the ZV-E10, but those two cameras, they did really good. I'm a little confused, and I fell into this, you have to have full frame, And I think back in the day, like a couple years ago, back in the day, right, was that you needed full frame so that you could get your ISO down, you could get more light into the sensor, it just performed better. But nowadays, we see these cameras that shoot super ridiculously high ISO. They can pretty much shoot in the dark, and we're getting these performances off APS-C sensors. Are we going to get a nicer, shallower depth of field off of full? Sure. Are most people going to notice that? Doubtful. Can you just get a better lens, like I said? Yeah, probably. Like if you took... So I actually want to try. I don't have it, but my hope is that sometime in the next, let's say, 5 to 6 months, my hope is that I can get the Tamron, possibly the Tamron 11 to 20 for the APS-C for Sony. Use it as a vlogging, because I'd love to see that lens with the ZV-E10 and just to see what kind of quality you get. I would think you would get decent. People that have tried it have said that they really like it, as long as it doesn't have a loud autofocus motor. It doesn't hunt. It focuses well in video mode. I think it could be a real win. I guess we'll see. Curiosity. Anybody else? I guess you're watching it. If you're here, you're watching it on our screen. Hopefully you guys can see the chat that's going up on Sony's video as well. I don't know what's taking them so long. Was I wrong? Is 10 o'clock EDT? What is EDT? I always think of Eastern Standard Time. What is EDT? Eastern. Anybody tell me what Eastern what? Eastern EDT. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Let's see if anybody else is saying anything up on Sony's site. Anything going on? 12 megapixels. And that's another rumor, 12 megapixels. Now, the big thing, I think, is, again, in that price point, which is a big one, 4K 60 and 4K 120. So that could be super, super nice. You know, I kind of want to, this says premieres, you know, at 11 a.m., which it should be based on the time that I'm at. Are they late? Have I missed the boat? Should I refresh this just to see? I'm curious. I'm going to refresh the page just to see. I want to see if anything is going on. Watch it just load. It did load. Oh my gosh. I got to go back. Why was it not loading before? Boo. Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, we might be a little bit behind. I don't know why it didn't load on me. Let's just jump ahead a bit to kind of catch up to where this. You guys may be behind me. Okay, here we go. All right. I hate when that happens. I don't understand. Sometimes it does that. Alpha. Okay, let's make this a bit bigger. Full frame sensor. Cool. Interchangeable lens vlog camera. Yeah, it's got the Alpha logo on it. So ZV-E1. Yes, it is. Full frame imagery. Very nice. Come on. What else do you got? They're hanging on that full frame for a bit. Okay, so 4K 60p out of the box. 4K 120p upgradable. All right. So, I'm curious, do I have like closed captioning on or something? I do. Let's turn that off. Okay, low noise, yep. So I think the upgradable is something that they said would come in a future update. Cinematic vlog, they put widescreen, but what's the point of that? No. Stable framing with AI, in-camera time-lapse, okay, that's kind of nice. I like that. It really does look similar to the ZV-E10. Unprecedented stabilization. Okay. Again, so that's good. I'm wondering if that's actually just electronic, because it's unprecedented. And of course, it does look like it comes in white and black, just like all their cameras do. Natural skin tone. Fast focus. Yeah. Product review. That's okay. AI-based auto framing. What does that mean? Connect. Well, they all connect to your smartphone. What I'd also like to see is if they're doing streaming, that they stream in 1080, not 720, because they all stream right now in 720, and it's just not enough. 15 plus stops of wide latitude. S-Log3. So if it's S-Log3, let's hope 10-bit. There we go. Good. 422 10-bit, very nice. High quality live streaming. Come on, what are you? High quality? Is it 1080? Didn't say.
Hey guys, this is my first time in Tokyo.
Okay. Made from recycled materials. Oh, saving the world. That's nice. Vlogging to your full potential. Okay. Okay, cinematic vlog. Create memorable imagery with cinematic vlog settings. Let's make this full screen. Hold on. Anyone can create look and mood. Clean. Okay, so these are like just kind of color profiles. You know, the widescreen is cool. And I guess if you are like uploading directly, or if you're saving this to your phone or something like that, that's kind of nice. But I'd rather just do that in post after. Dynamic active mode. Well, that's nice. That's steady. What is it? Reduces angle of view. So it does crop in a lot. Framing stabilization. This I'm kind of curious. Handheld walking shots. Yes. Okay. Without framing, with framing. Okay. So it's going to really crop in a lot. This is the one that I was like curious about here. So is it going to move around the screen as it locks onto her? Oh, I guess that's exactly what it's doing. So it's like its own camera guy, right? Because it's got such a big image that it's capturing that it actually moves in. That's kind of nice. That could actually be really useful too for like live streaming. As long as it doesn't, you know, really crop into the sensor too much and like push out like a 1080. But I like that, being able to move back and forth between the two people.
No idea what dinner
really
is tonight. See, I can't even speak. I'm so tired.
Front of camera.
But looking forward to it. I built the tent, so she gets to cook for me.
So it must have a.
Wow.
There must be a button to be able to switch
That
that.
sounds so good.
All right, that's cool. What is that lens? What is that lens? What does that say? I didn't even look. Oh, Creators Cloud. Sure.
Creators Cloud offers a new content creation experience by combining Sony cameras with cloud AI technology. Shooting and production will become more efficient and free.
Shoot, edit, inspire.
Creators Cloud is also a space where creators from around the world can meet
I know
and collaborate.
that when I registered my ZV-E1F, I got
Creators
access
Cloud
to
can
this,
be
and they gave me an
accessed through a
upgrade in
web browser
storage
and a
and stuff like
dedicated
that. I think, you know, anybody can get it, but I
Creators
think,
app
yeah,
allows
once
for easy
you
file
actually
transfer from your camera, and
register,
also allows
hook up
you
your
to check your
camera to
camera
it, a
status
Sony
from your
camera, of
smartphone.
course, it actually gives you more information.
File
Seems
transfer
useful.
to your
I haven't
smartphone
used
and
it.
PC can also be seamlessly
Again, I just
uploaded
drop
to
everything
Sony's
to a
cloud
computer.
storage.
So,
Creators Cloud also provides services and apps for various purposes. For instance, MasterCut is a web service that streamlines the foundation for video editing with cloud AI technology.
all right.
C Media Cloud supports collaborative production for teams. Also, many more services and applications that support creation can be easily accessed. Creators Cloud is also a place where you can meet and collaborate with creators from all over the world with just one app.
Cool feature
In
for
the future,
sure. You know,
Creators Cloud will
if
provide
you
more
have time to
opportunities,
use it. For one, you know,
just
your
activities.
device has to upload all this stuff, and if they're big files,
In
they just
addition, articles that contain
guess we'll
shooting
see.
tips and advice can be easily accessed.
for someone like myself that, you know, shoots, edits, and
Creators
posts
Cloud
all
is a
in the same
platform
day.
that supports creators
If I had to let my
from
computer
shooting to
upload
overall
everything,
production, and
that
provides a
would take way
place
too
for
much time.
co-creation.
But I could see it being really beneficial if you're working with a team or if
All these
you're somewhere
experiences
else,
have been
so that you have
realized
a
by
backup, I
combining
guess.
Sony's advanced camera technology and cloud AI. Creators Cloud will continue to evolve and support creators.
Here's the one thing they need to do. They need to, if you get an actual Sony camera and register it, they need to open up Catalyst Prepare so that we can just all use it and queue up things. Is that it? Nope. Maybe? We got all this. It's just redoing it now. So there's no price? They're not giving me a price? What's going on here? Why is there no price? What happened? Zero price? Is that it? Yeah. That's it. Why aren't you going to tell me how... Do they not know how much it's going to cost? Is that the deal? Which is a possibility. I didn't want that button. Maybe I want this button. There we go. No price. What? Stop it. Clicking on buttons all over the place, nothing's happening. Go back. Skip ad.
Sony.
Go
If you
back here.
actually analyze the video game market in Japan, it has
no,
nothing to do with Sony.
no. Anyways, no price. I'm on Sony Alpha Rumors. I'm curious here if they... Nothing. Okay. I wonder if something like BH Photo, does BH Photo even have anything? Could you think if it's announced? Okay, here we go. So they have a view items. Alrighty. Ooh. Oh, I don't like that lens. So why Why would you release? Okay, so it's $2,200. So that's a lot of money. So so for one, $2,200 in Canadian is like $1 million. Number one, this is the lens that they chose. Now it's a $300 lens, which is fine, but this is supposedly a vlogging camera. Why are you releasing it with a 28 mil? A 28 mil, the ultimate vlogging camera, a 28 mil lens. That makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Why? You know, this should be I don't know, 14 to 20. It doesn't even have to be like a super fast lens. This isn't a super fast lens. f4 to 5.6 E mount. They should have this as at least a 20 to 40. Let's do a 20 to 40 just to be, you know, at least we get ZV-1F width. Oh, no. And a wide angle to long. It's not that wide. I know it's considered wide, but it's not that wide. Oh, no shipping to Canada. Okay, so for those of us in the Canada, let's just take a look here. Because for those of us, why are you not... There we go. Vistech, yep. Why do they have it? Did they push anything here? Are they saying upgrade your gear? So there's nothing here at all. They don't have anything. No announcement, no nothing. All right, so that's a store here in Canada. Nothing. What about Henry's Canada? Here we go. What about you guys? Anything? Are you giving us some kind of love? Are you going to show me any kind of love? With Lenzo, it's $3,000 Canadian, right? No, it's nothing there. Here's a big Canon sale. So that's smart of them. Honestly, they put it. Look at this: R7, R6, R5. They're going to be like, hey, instead of buying that for this price, why don't you buy one of our cameras? You know? Oh, because what's? I'm curious. Let's just go back here. I'm curious, and I know there's definitely some cool features. Like the camera does have, right, some really cool features. Like if you look at this, learn more, right? Unveils the creator-centered ZV-E1. Yeah, dedicated AI processing. That's super cool. It really does look like the ZV-E10. Creative, distinctive, cinematic looks. That's fine. Whatever. I won't use that. Other new modes: creator-focused design, components, creativity. Order now. Okay. But here's my question before I leave you guys. Canon R8 full frame, yes. Now it's not going to have all the bells and whistles, right? Full frame. Let's just do a search. You can do it. Why are you here? Oh, some days, you know, Canon R8, okay? Comes with a wider lens, 24 to 50. Better, still not great, but okay. So R8 by itself, $1,500, not $2,200. Okay, with this lens, $1,699, not $20. So it's almost $1,000. It's $800 less. Oh, I know the other one has some cool features, 100%, right? This one does shoot 4K 60. It doesn't do 4K 120. The other one didn't say either what the photo resolution was, right? Because they talked primarily about the video side, which is to be expected since it's a vlogging camera. Oh, I don't know. That's a close one. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you guys there with this because I am still, and I'll say it, I am still really curious about this camera because there are definitely some features on it which no other camera has, especially all this AI stuff. That could be cool. I think it really, it's a hard one to say because you know, do you want all that creative control, or do you want something else to do that? You know, I'm really curious about, you know, that cropping feature where it says, hey, we can crop and follow this, and we can switch between this person and this person all within like one composition, where it's got to be zooming in 100%. What's the quality after the zoom? Does it go down to 1080? I don't know. Does it go down to 2.7? Does it go down to 720? Because that's something that they're not saying, and I'd like to know, right? That's important. And do I also get the 4K full version pre? That would be okay if they're like, we're going to keep the full wide, and then we're going to record double streams so that you get the 4K and the little 1080, so that you could actually kind of go between the two. Then I'd be like, oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. There's too much. They gave us all the flash. They gave us all the flash. But now we need to see the practical, right? We need to see the practical to verify that. We have no date, right? It's coming soon, so no date. I'm curious because I do like it, right? I do like that camera. I do think because of the 4K 120, it would be super cool. It's small, which I really like. I like a small camera. Leave comments below, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you think of this camera. Let me know if you think it would be something you would go for. Like, I'm really curious. Is this something you're like, yeah, I'd spend that much money on it? Or if you would, leave a comment. If you wouldn't, what would you go for? Because now we kind of know more. We know more. We don't know all. We know more. What are some of the other options that you would probably think about instead of the ZV-E1? I'm curious. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you guys there because that's it. That's all. All right, my friends. We have another stream coming up. If you guys are interested in some gaming, I'm gonna be doing some gaming. That's coming up right away, and I will see you guys next video. Later, my friends.